Alright, I just want to make a quick video highlighting what I've seen from people who got early release to the Spider-Man 2 video game for the PlayStation 5. And some problems that I see that keep reoccurring. So, of course, there's talk of the game being too short. Maybe. I heard that the main campaign was 18 hours, which that's a decent size. I don't think that's too short. But what I see most is the formula getting too old and too overdone. I've seen it's it's still fun, but it's not fresh. It's not as fresh as the first two games, Spider-Man and then the Miles Morales were. It's the same thing that we've seen over and over, but I don't know if that's a huge problem. The fighting mechanic has been praised so many times. People absolutely adore it from the first game. People loved it so much. So I don't think it would have been appropriate for Insomniac to change it and create a whole new fighting mechanic when they already have this pre-existing one that is it's perfect. It feels like you're Spider-Man. Now, of course, they could have tweaked it a little bit, and I'm sure they did here and there, little changes here, little changes here, little changes there. I'm sure they did, but they kept the same gist, which people have complained about, but they also are kind of on the same boat I am, where it's if it ain't broke, don't fix it, pretty much. It's still fun. It's been praised. Why would we change this? Also, people say that it focuses, there's a lot of stealth missions. That's what we've been seeing a lot more. Where you're climbing. I've seen footage where you have Spidey. He's on a web rope and he's climbing, and there's these enemies that he just picks up and he defeats. And also the Mary Jane levels are back, where I see her tasing people and doing stuff like that. So yeah, stealth missions have never been people's favorites. It's kind of, they're a little not overdone, but they're pretty much the same formula with just a different backdrop or something like that. But it might, just a couple there's not going to ruin it. Just a little change of gameplay, because to diverge a little bit from the classic fighting mechanic and to have a little stealth. I don't think it's a massive problem. I don't think it's going to ruin the game. Those parts might just be a little more laid back. People don't like them as much. I can see that, of course. But I don't think the stealth levels are going to be the worst thing ever. They're just going to be okay, I just can relax a little more. It's not as adrenaline pumping as the classic gameplay mechanics are. So those are the two main problems, the stealth missions, and then is the fighting mechanic, the question, is the fighting mechanic overdone? And I don't think it's as big as a problem as people make it out to be. I don't want to say people are complaining too much, but there is a lot of complaining about this game, and a lot of worrisome and what's going to happen with this game? Is it going to be good? What I have seen, I think it is going to be a flippin' great game. Excuse my French. I think Venom looks amazing. Kraven looks amazing. Spidey and Miles both look amazing. I think that the story with Venom, I heard he's it's very messes with your mind, and it's very dark and pulls the grief and the emotions out of Spidey and Miles and makes them fight each other. I think that's a great tool that Venom can be used as. Okay, Venom works perfectly in that role. He takes over Spider-Man, he can take over Miles, or someone close to both of them as a host, and he can mess with their mind, and he can act as this glooming threat over the both of them. And that is what Venom's goal is to be. It's very hard to use Venom in one of your stories, some people, oh, he's just like a scary monster and you have to fight him and he shoots goo and webs. Yeah, okay. But this is like a great thing. Like Venom doesn't want to rule the world. Okay, Venom doesn't want to rob a bank. Okay, he's not your stereotypical supervillain. He messes with your mind, which is such a great villain tool. So I am so excited to see Venom. I'm actually very excited. And your second villain, we've seen Sandman in the trailers, and we have seen Lizard, which look cool. They're just bosses. They're not the main two villains that Venom and Kraven are. But Kraven is more of the villain. You know, Venom's like, he plays the villain role, but he's not, I don't know how to explain it. He's Venom, okay? He's like, he sticks outside of the crowd. He doesn't want the same things all the villains want. Kraven, on the other hand, he wants a new challenge. He's looking for a nice hunt. And he sees that there are these superheroes in New York. So he goes to New York, and that's pretty much what he wants. He wants either, does he want Miles? Does he want Peter? Does he want Venom to be his hunt, his prey? And he's the predator, and he's like trying to hunt them. I think that is he's also a great villain, you know? And Venom, everyone who knows Spider-Man and knows at least 3 of his villains know Venom. Venom's definitely top 3 alongside Doc Ock and Green Goblin. Okay, 100%. Venom is top 3, if not 1, or maybe 2 or something like that. Kraven, on the other hand, might be top, I mean, he's pretty popular, maybe top 10. Maybe top 10 out of all of Spidey's rogue gallery. So we see the 2 main villains we have are one who's extremely popular and one who's not as popular, but they're still using him because he's a great villain and has a interesting story and an interesting want. So I think this game's going to be great. I think we can see a lot out of it, and I'm actually very excited to see how this game goes. So that was just my quick rant, just 7 minutes, not a big deal. People are a little worried. Yeah, it's okay to have worries. You know, people love these games. We don't want to see them just be milked dry. This is Spider-Man's Arkham, pretty much. This is Marvel's Arkham. And I'm just excited to see how it goes. So thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. And remember, we're all kings and queens. See you in the next one.